cost of maintaining the tank. When you do the calculation, depending on your energy bill, it might be beneficial to do that. But depending on your energy bill. So that's why you have to understand energy bill very well. So, when you look at your energy, there is a service charge. When you look at your energy bill for electricity, it's a constant service charge. It's like, basically, it could include also the cost of the meters, because the main meter is owned by the electric company, basically. There is a power factor charge, because this power factor is associated with the inefficiency of the energy. Because when you're, for example, when you're dealing with electrical motor, right? When you're dealing with the electrical motor, there is an active and reactive power being used, because it has inductors, right? So those you have to count for all of those things. There are power factor charges for that. If you have a lot of electrical motor, your power factor could be high. There is a flat rate that basically is applied for each kilowatt hour you use. Doesn't matter during what time of the year it is or what time of the day it is. You have to pay for that kilowatt hour. And now there is a seasonal rate sometimes depending on the contract you have. Sometimes in summertime it could be more expensive. In winter it could be less expensive, right? Seasonal charges usually are important if the source of the energy that you're getting is from water, like from dam, right? During different time of the month of the year, your dam operates at different level of water, so your electricity is going to be charged differently. Sometimes, most of the times for factories actually, they don't sell you electricity by kilowatt hour, they sell you a chunk of kilowatt hour. They say from the first kilowatt hour up to 100,000 kilowatt hour, this is the price. From 100,000 to 200,000, that's a different price, right? And so those are called block rates or tiers. And of course the time of the use is important as well. With the increased usage of computers in the industry, some of the things that is being investigated recently, and you see it in a lot of modern factories, is they do real-time pricing. Because they can now basically connect the usage of your electricity to a computer and measure it at every second to see what is your consumption. And based on where and how you're using it, they give you different rates. A lot of companies are giving you money back if you're green and you're not using the electricity. For example, if you put solar panels in the roof of your facility and you generate electricity, and you generate more electricity than what you use, by law, each state, that is, I think about 48 states already have this law. By law, the utility company has to buy back the electricity from you with the rate that they were selling it to. They cannot say, no, we are not buying it. They have to buy it, right? So for those, you can get some credit also. Not just only from solar. Some companies, they have cogeneration, they use the electricity, they have boilers, they use it differently, and they create electricity and they put it back to the network. Okay, so let's look at the billing example. I get my bill, and in my bill, this is how it shows. This is a winter time. It gives me a rate of the first 25 kilowatt, and this is for the demand part of it, is $100. What was demand, remember? Demand was the peak energy that you use, right? If you look at your energy usage, right? If you draw your energy usage versus time in an operation, in a day, in a month, in a year, however you want to do it. Right? There is a peak. And that peak is your kilowatt, which is basically demand. Right? The area under the curve is your total energy, which is kilowatt hour. Right? So this billing information tells me that if I hit my maximum usage at 25 kilowatts, I'm going to pay $100. If I am between 25 to 475 kilowatt, I got to pay $1,660. This is like a one-time, fee or penalty. And if I go above another 400 above that, so it would be $1,300. So in this case, when I was running, I was over 900 basically. So my peak power, let's say it was about 1,000 kilowatts. So if it was 1,000 kilowatt, that means I'm going to pay 100, a 1,660, a 1,300. To add them together, I'm going to pay $3,060. Just because of the demand I have. In summertime, this demand could be different way of calculating of the demand. The rate could be different basically. In summertime, in the summertime, when I calculate my demand based on the rate that it was given to me, I calculated about $4,035. Right? So that's only the demand one. If I break my year up, depending on the location I have, if I am 8 months in the winter schedule and 4 months in the summer schedule, so 8 months multiplied by 2,060, 4 months multiplied by 4,035 gives me the total usage of total demand charges of $40,620. So total charges of demand comes to $40,620. This is only the demand part of it. This is only covering for the peak. I haven't paid still for my usage charge, right? And the usage charge is how much total energy I use. For 330 hours, I had a motor, for example, or a unit that was working at 475 kilowatt. You multiply by the number of the hours of the operation, that gives you the kilowatt hour, which is the total energy. That's the usage. In my table, it tells me the first 2,000 kilowatt, I got to pay 8 cents for each kilowatt hour. The next 18,000, I got to pay 6 cents. And then, after that, I'm going to pay 4.4. So based on the usages I have, which is 1,560,075, I got to subtract the 2,000 kilowatt hour of it, 18,000 kilowatt hour, and the rest, put them together on the rates that they are giving me, come up with the calculation. That is 7,256 for 1 month. I have 12 months of operation, multiplied by 12 is $87,000. But look at it. Your usage is $87,000, your demand is $40,000, and usually that's the case. Your demand is usually going to, if you calculate your usage, you got to multiply it by 1.5 in order to find out what is your total. Your demand is huge. The demand is nothing small. Don't underestimate. When you're trying to build a factory, when you go buy a motor, and you say, okay, this motor is 100 kilowatt hour, this is what I'm going to pay, this is the amount of energy, you got to multiply by 1.5 to calculate it roughly, because there is a demand, and demand charges is very important, as you can see here. It's half of the, 1/3 of the total charge is going to be coming from the demand. Now, this is another utility bill example. The first 25 kilowatt hour, the first 25 kilowatt is for the demand is $4 per kilowatt per month. Next 475, 3.50 per kilowatt per month. And the next 1,000 is $3.25 per kilowatt per month. If I look at the energy charges that I have in the table, it's 2,000 kilowatt hours per month. It's 8 cents. The next 18,000 is 6 cents, and the next 18,000 is 4.4 cents. When you look at your utility bill, even for residential, take a look when you go home tonight. All of these charts that are the standard charts apply to one of the customers. Either is printed in the back of your utility bill or printed somewhere at the bottom. Right? It gives you all of the information. Then it tells you your usage. And when you do your usage, it has a demand charges and it has a